Good evening, ghouls and goblins, and welcome to another bone-chilling episode of Be Scared. I'm Hammy, and I'll be your guide through this terrifying experience. Tonight I've rented out Studio A so that my friends and I can have a party. A viewing party. This is Khole, our host. Khole has the unnatural ability to see the dead. He's so amusing. That was weird. I don't know why I said that. It felt weird coming out. This is Kelsey. She sure is an unusual creature. She seems to be the vessel to a variety of spirits that inhabit this studio. Isn't she pretty? Okay, as soon as I said that, I thought that was kind of creepy. I'm sorry, folks. I'll try to tone down the creepiness. But the party... Ah, yes, the party. We're very low budget, so there will be no food or drinks. The only company we will have are the ghosts that inhabit the studio. And you, of course. I should warn you, you will be trapped in the studio just like our hosts. So if you need to use the restroom, now is the time. It's okay. I'll wait. Shh. Can't really whistle. No lips. Ah, now that you're back, you're trapped, just like our hosts. If the hosts can stay in the studio for the entire episode, they won't get anything. We don't really have a budget for anything. The only real prize they'll get is my respect. Just a little bit, though. That should be enough to pressure them into doing this. Who am I kidding? They won't have a choice in this.
What are you doing?
Are you talking to yourself?
Nothing. No one. I am a skull, after all. All of my friends are dead, or hanging in a biology lab.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
That was a joke. I have an avid social life. I hope you guys are well hydrated. It's going to be a long night.
Did you just cackle?
No, it was a cough.
Be Scared, North Texas's home to horrible movies.
Thanks for the melodrama there, Hammy. So what are we suffering through? I mean, I'm watching, what movie are we watching this week?
House on Haunted Hill.
The one with Vincent Price.
The very same. Possibly the worst real estate investment of all time. All-inclusive with a hearty helping of ghouls and goblins and a side of wanton murder.
In other words, any decent vacation worth its salt.
I'm not sure decent's the right word there, Hemi. Anyways, I gotta go start the movie or something. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, you go. So, what exactly
What the hell?
do you mean by decent?
Hey, maintenance guys or whatever, we're still in here. Open the door, please.
All I'm saying is that is an awful way to plan a party.
An unsurprising opinion from one with no semblance of class to speak of.
Keep talking bone breath. I could chuck you across this studio if I wanted to.
Oh, if I had boots, I would be quaking in them, I assure you. Hey, stop this.
Take that.
No, desist. Kelsey! Oh, what in the underworld has possessed you this time?
What just happened to me? What's just happened to me? That's nothing. You've been playing around with a ghost. Wait until somebody lets out the darkness in. That's a whole new bunch of crazy.
Sorry, what?
The studio doesn't care about who lives or who dies, who has to go to the bathroom or not. It's alive. We're all doomed.
Well, now that's cheerful.
Hey, y'all, I don't know what's happened, but the door's locked. Does anyone have like a spare key or anything just lying around? Producer's number, maybe?
Oh, sounds like quite the jam.
This isn't time for jokes, Hammy. This is serious. There's got to be something we can do.
Not much will do any good against the dead.
Who's talking
Only
about
the living.
Who's talking about the dead?
They're restless and hungry.
Well, where'd you get that knife? Give me that knife. Give me the...
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless, hungry. May I introduce myself? I'm Watson Pritchard. In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. Since then, I've owned the house. I've only spent one night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
I'm Frederick Lauren, and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000, or your next of kin in case you don't survive. Ah, but here come our other guests. It was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars. She's so amusing. Her sense of humor is, shall we say, original. I dreamed up the hearse. It's empty now, but after a night in the house on Haunted Hill, who knows? This is Lance Schroeder, a test pilot, so no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it? And I happen to know that Lance needs the $10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers. She says her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money. Gambles. You've already met Watson Pritchard, a man living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend another night here. I wonder why. He says for money. This is Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist. He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there around the mouth and eyes? This is Nora Manning. I picked her from the thousands of people who work for me because she needed the $10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty? The party's starting now, and you have until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
Well, where is everybody?
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
Are we all strangers to each other? Don't you two know each other?
I'm afraid I don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
Is Frederick Lauren a friend of yours?
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him.
I've never met the man either. Just a phone call. Do you know him?
No,
Well, then you're the only one of us who does.
I don't know him. All the details about renting the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Who closed the door?
This thing's made of solid steel.
Annabelle, our guests are here, unfortunately still alive. Is your face on yet?
Dust and dirt everywhere, and the water barely trickles. Couldn't you have had the place cleaned?
Atmosphere, darling. You know how ghosts are. They never tidy up. And that's a very fetching outfit, but hardly suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
The spend the night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot. They share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Will you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork. Will you join me?
No, thank you.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
My humor is fine, thanks. And I haven't poisoned it.
It's always good to know that. Have some. You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive.
Would you go away for $1 million and tax-free? You want it all, don't you?
I deserve it all. Your jealousy isn't tax-free. And your possessiveness is maddening.
If ever a man had grounds for divorce.
But can't prove them.
The time will come. You'll slip up one of these days.
Think so?
If I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes. Arsenic on the rocks. Annabelle, you'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you. I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas. Now, don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, The only ghoul in the house is you.
And don't sit up all night thinking of ways to get rid of me. It makes wrinkles.
This is what she used on my brother and her sister. Hacked them to pieces. We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads.
The wife, probably in a rage, threatened her husband with a knife and then, carried away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
She certainly went on. How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
Only two. Her husband and her sister. No one else was here.
So there are two loose heads just floating around in here somewhere?
You can hear them at night. They whisper to each other and then cry.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone care to mix me a drink?
Certainly. What will you have?
Good evening. I'm your host, Frederick Lauren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with a drink, shall we?
Mr. Lauren, I advise you to call this party off now. The ghosts are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
Let me apologize for my wife. She'll join us later. What do you have?
Scotch and.
Doctor?
I'll have the same.
Now, before the party begins, let's go over the details. The caretakers will leave at midnight, locking us in here until they come back in the morning. Once the door is locked, there's no way out. The windows have bars that a jail would be proud of, and the only door to the outside locks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone, no one within miles, so no way to call for help.
Like a coffin.
So if any of you decide not to stay for the party, you must let me know before midnight. Of course, if you leave, I shan't be able to pay you anything.
I'm interested in your reasons for this, party. Aside from the pleasant company.
Ghosts, Doctor. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. And now my wife has given us all the opportunity to find out.
Amusing. Ghosts, etc., being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
That's cheerful.
4 men have been murdered in this house. And 3 women.
You planned your party very well, Mr. Lauren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. Well, a ghost for everybody.
Well, Pritchard, why don't you take us on a tour through the house and let's see what happens, huh?
See that stain? Blood. A young girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
It's too late. They've marked you.
Ridiculous. The roof probably leaks.
Oh, that must be what it is. Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting male ghost.
I hope it doesn't come back.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're the life of the party.
He hasn't even started yet. Wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
That was in the cellar. There's been a murder almost every place in this house. All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down. But the bones came up. It's a funny thing, but none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing. They've all been sort of wild, violent, and different.
Look out!
God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
Destroys everything with hair and flesh. Just leaves the bones. My, it's dry and dusty down here.
Well, there's a cure for that upstairs. Come on.
How'd you get invited to this party?
No.
Oh, go on. I mean, what did he tell you?
Mr. Lawrence said everybody'd get $10,000.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
He just made the deal with me on the phone, but nothing about having to stay.
Aren't you going to stay?
If I don't, I lose $10,000.
I'm going to stay, too. $10,000.
Yeah. You believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
Well, I agree with what that doc says. You can spook yourself. I've done it in planes. Seen things that weren't really there. Or were they? What are you going to do with your $10,000? If we get it.
What do you mean, if we get it? Won't he pay us if we stay?
Ah, sure he will. 10,000 is no more to him than a nickel is to us.
We were in an automobile accident. Now I'm the only one in the family who can make any money.
Boy, I've never seen so many doors. Closet. Bottles.
Does it go anywhere?
Today, modern man is preoccupied by the mysteries of outer space. Scientists are probing farther and farther away from Earth. And yet, here on this very world we live in, are hidden mysteries. Mysteries better left alone. For if they are disturbed, they could destroy the world. And now, an expedition goes to a strange South Sea island.
To a forbidden jungle. To a forbidden village. Breaking taboos that anger the gods.
Papa angry. Papa angry. Angry.
The revenge of the monsters.
Kappa!
The selfish whim of a magazine publisher.
In this park, I will have strange tropical animals.
With results in horrible destruction. Kappa! Nothing can stop them. Kappa! The monsters can actually think. And in addition, they can communicate with others of their own species. Worldwide terror. Coming soon.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Father, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Faith in there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Hi, Cole here from Be Scared. We're at the San Antonio Horrific Film Fest. We're going to interview some celebrities, some booth guys, just see what it's all about here in San Antonio. Thanks for joining me. I'm joining you, but it's great to have you.
Thank you.
So a lot of the horror genre, you got to get into that sort of place in your mind where you become that sort of killer thing. So do you have that place in your mind? Like, was it there naturally, or did you have to do some research or anything?
So there's a secret to playing bad guys, is that no bad guy ever thinks he's doing anything bad. They always think that they're doing something that they're supposed to do. They're on a mission. They're doing something not good, but they have a purpose.
Yeah, everything's logical to them.
Yeah, that's the key to playing any kind of bad guy. Is
you think that they think that they're normal, but the world does not see it.
Agreed.
Crazy people never think they're crazy, so you have to go into it thinking you're going to be normal in this premise, even though you're insane and weird and all that kind of stuff, spooky, whatever you're playing. But crazy people and mean people don't know they are that. They think they're fine.
Yeah.
So as an actor, you approach it with that in mind, that I'm a great person. I had to kill her. She was wrong.
So I just wanted to ask you, as an actor, what kind of mindset do you go into when you go into the horror genre type of movies? Do you think is it more like a mental thing, or do you do a lot of research of horror things?
Well, for Return of the Living Dead, I did no research because there are no living dead things in reality, so I figured I'm just going to make this up as I go along. Obviously, on the surface of it, if you try and make sense out of it, it's all nonsense, but it's really fun nonsense, and it was really intriguing when I read the script. So the things I had control over, like the walk, I kind of came up with a special kind of a physicality for this character. But the other things that I had no control over, like how could he possibly crack somebody's skull with his jaw? That makes no sense at all. Even when you're alive, you don't have the strength. It doesn't matter. You just sort of go along with it, and you accept it as a sort of a convention of the genre. And it's in a way it's very liberating, because it's like you're not going to be held accountable for it.
There's nothing checking you or anything.
Yeah, it's not like you're playing an historical character. So, oh well, LBJ really didn't do that. It's like,
You have free reign to do anything you want.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was fun that way.
People there at home, they probably don't know that your film even exists, but like, so just tell us a little bit about it. Try to.
I'll sell you.
Yeah, so you sell it, pitch it, man.
Awesome. So, Holy Hell is in the style of the old 1970s sort of like exploitation films, along the lines of like Hobo with a Shotgun or Machete. It's crazy, it's offensive, it's completely insane. It's been described as the craziest parts of the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Pulp Fiction put together right in the middle. It's the story of a priest. He's the one good guy in a really lousy town. He witnesses the murder of a family, goes crazy, starts praying to a gun he names the Lord, and hunting down the killers.
Well, it sounds like a very good family flick right there.
Oh, yeah, no. This is
right on ABC Family.
Yeah, as hard R gets is us. We have a couple of walkouts every screening. It's a nice, beautiful thing. But at the same time, we've picked up 4 different Audience Choice Awards. We have 7 different Best Feature Awards. We've screened at 28 festivals and countries, including Canada, the U.S., Brazil, Spain, England, Ireland.
It's international, everywhere.
Yeah, everybody loves being offended, so it's a great time.
My name is Ju Gomez. I do horror art, and I'm one of the creators of a book called Viral. They go all over the world. It's a horror magazine. It's not for kids, and we're just promoting my books and the artwork that I do.
Tell us a little bit about what you do. You kind of channel anything into your drawings, or
I do. A long time ago, my wife passed away, and I was on Oprah, and I started painting to get over a lot of that stress and stuff like that. And to this day, I've been doing it. And I got a friend of mine named Robin Starleaf who helps me out a lot because I have problems with color, and sometimes I can't see reds or pinks or blues and stuff like that.
So my booth's called Horror Speed Freaks. It's basically, I am a motorcycle painter. I've always dug like rat fink, hot rods and whatnot in horror movies, so why not mash the two together? And this is kind of what I came up with. And then it's also kind of a what would Leatherface drive, or Freddy Krueger or Jason. So it's kind of a fantasy type art, something cool, something different. But all of these are all 100% completely hand painted in digital. Nothing's like where you cut and paste images from Google or whatever. It makes it more authentic looking. It looks more hand painted versus something that you just pulled off of the internet. It makes it look, original.
What would you say your favorite horror film is?
Man, I like a lot of old school movies, like Exorcist and everything that you grew up with. But I like also House of a Thousand Corpses, kind of some new age ones. Yeah.
I'm pretty much more into like zombie, anything zombie.
Like 28 Days Later, is that?
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. More like the old school.
The old, like Night of the Living Dead, and that type of thing, like the Romano things. Romero. Is it Romero? Romero. I just did a paper on it. It was, whatever.
In the feature, I wanted to bring this up. We do have LOIs from Zach Galligan from Gremlins, Vernon G. Wells from Mad Max, Road Warrior, and Commando, Elsie Holt from Your Next, Bill Johnson from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These are all people that have agreed to be in the film because they get a hold of this script and they're like, shit, I want to do this. And we have a couple others I can't say in public yet. But they're, because they's like, money in the bank first, but they've agreed to do it. So this is not just going to be some tiny little, independent thing once we do it. It'll be independent, it'll be small, but it's going to have credibility.
And the people that we can't mention yet are actually even bigger than the people we've already mentioned. Follow us as we continue to travel across the U.S. with Among the Dead. We are on Facebook at Facebook.com/Among the Dead Movie. It's all one word, Among the Dead Movie. There actually is another Among the Dead movie being made out there as well. So if you see one in Florida, that's not us. For our feature, we will have a totally different name, but we don't want to release that yet until we have everything copywritten and trademarked and all that good stuff.
I'm here with Tony, and he's doing these awesome paintings over here. I'm just wondering, why are you so drawn to the more of like the comic book characters and horror characters instead of like realism and all that stuff?
That's a good question. I guess the reason is the iconic imagery of the different characters or different subjects that people can relate to, and then doing it in this style is kind of like a pop art style for me. And you can still get the image, but I don't have to be so paranoid about getting it just right or just perfect. So it's kind of just not so much abstract, but with a little bit of, just some
Controlled chaos kind of.
Yes, exactly. And I don't have to do a lot, so yeah.
You've been doing this for like 9 years, right? And so watching it grow over the years, how has that been with you?
It started very small venue, and it keeps growing every year. One of my big expectation is to make it grow in a way that I get filmmakers. I'm already getting filmmakers from around the world, but make it more international. Also be able to get all those students that want to submit films to. Have the chance and opportunity for them to submit it to my film fest. You always got to start slow in local film festivals, and then until you get to that status where you could submit it to bigger festivals.
Yeah. What sort of steps are there in your sort of acting process to get to that zone of?
Yeah, so if it's something really physical, I used to play a lot of football. I played college football. I played a little professional football for the Dallas Cowboys way back in the day. And so for me, it's like when I used to play football, I'd get really emotional, jump up and down, stomp my feet, whatever, say some bad words, whatever it is, to get in that space of being this badass dude, and it turns out, and still, but you have to be under control too. So if you're out of control, then it's dangerous for everyone. So
you channel your inner football player to play these.
I put my head through a wall. I've been some face masks. Yeah, that's what happens.
That sounds crazy. What would you say is the most fun you've had on set?
Well, it'd be several films. The most fun I had oh my God, a movie set was my first movie, King of the Gypsies. It's a very good movie, by the way. Brooke Shields played my sister, Susan Random played my mother, a lot of cool people in that movie. Anyway, but then the most fun I ever had artistically, like playing something way away from what I am and accomplishing it, doing a good job, was a movie called Star 80. I played a real creep. In fact, after the movie came out, nobody would hire me for Nice Guys for a long time. In fact, that's what started me playing bad guys and spooky guys, was Star 80. But that was the most fun artistically, but the most fun as an actor ever was the Pope of Greenwich Village.
Has there ever been a time where you've used one of your characters in public, like if someone was aggravating you and you decided to kind of get into a character or something like that?
No, not really.
Really? Well, okay. You don't turn into a tar man when you get mad at someone?
Outside the horror fan world, it's not too many people know about him.
I guess so, yeah.
It wouldn't do any good. It's not like looking in the mirror and saying, you talking to me? Everybody knows that one.
We all know this one, so, and I think all of our fans do too. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Sure. You're in Master of Disguise.
Yes, you like that show.
That's one of my favorite. I don't know. It's not. As a kid. Well, I look back at it now, like, oh man.
It's kind of crappy.
But your line, I think I stepped into cow pie.
Oh man! I stepped into cow pie.
I don't know who gets that, but I say that line all the time, and I hope that people do it. But that's awesome.
Good.
So thank you so much for.
No. Thank you.
I want to say to everybody out there, come on, enjoy, submit films. If you got films, you're more than welcome always in the Horrific Film Fest.
what I mean?
Please, come on.
Did she say Lance is gone? Gone where?
We'll have to break it down. It's locked.
Law? You all right? Nothing that money won't cure. I must have bumped my head.
The only way you could bump your head in here is to run head on into the wall. You didn't do that, did you? Let's get a bandage on that.
I wonder why they didn't kill him.
Who?
He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
They?
Nora, when you came in, you said something about a ghost.
There was something.
What did it look like?
Well, it was wearing a black thing that went all the way to the floor.
Weren't you a little frightened at the time?
Well, yes.
That, Mr. Loren, is hysteria.
Well, then, Doctor, how do you explain what happened to Lance? Was that hysteria, too?
You better get that checked in a day or so.
Thanks, Doc. Wait for me in the hall.
The ghosts are coming closer, Mr. Loren.
You really believe in your pet ghost, don't you, Pritchard?
Before the night's over, you will, too.
Would you like a drink, Lance? No, thanks.
I'd like one. Scotch and.
Mr. Loren, are you really going to pay anyone who stays all night?
Certainly. $10,000.
Will there be much red tape or delay?
You in a hurry, dear?
Frankly, yes. Or frantically.
There you are, my dear. Someone or something was in here when I came in. But where? And if the door was locked, how did it get out? What you saw might have been a ghost, Nora, but what was in here with me was no ghost.
I don't know. I was so scared.
Does it sound different to you?
Yes.
Three, 6, 9, 12. 12 feet. Three, 6. Now, I'm going to knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall. Tap lower down.
Oh,
Where'd it come from?
From in here.
Well, if it ran out of here, I'd have seen it.
Lance, it doesn't run. It just floats.
Yeah, but why didn't I see it?
You don't believe me.
How can I?
I'm Annabelle Lauren. You must be Miss Manning. I realize this is a very unusual and I'm afraid very dull party. Wouldn't you like to freshen up? This is your room. Depressing, isn't it?
I doubt if I'll spend much time here.
It's going to rain. Perfect atmosphere for my husband's party. Why did you come here?
He said he'd give me $10,000.
Why did he pick you?
I don't know. My supervisor just came and said I'd been invited.
How long have you known my husband?
I just met him tonight.
So? Why you? What were you doing wandering around by yourself?
Well, I was in the cellar with Lance, Mr. Schroeder, and I just left, that's all.
Don't do it again. Don't go anywhere in this house by yourself. Now fix your face and I'll come by for you in a few minutes.
But
You're in danger. We all are.
But who?
I hope for your sake you never find out. I'm Annabelle Lauren. Were you looking for something?
Not exactly.
Are you the doctor?
No, I'm Lance Schroeder.
The pilot. You've hurt yourself.
Oh, it's just a bump on the head. Which is my room?
I believe this is it.
Thank you, Mrs. Lauren.
Annabelle Lance. You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she so upset?
Was she?
And you don't look like the type to go around bumping his head. What really happened, Lance?
Well, Nora thought she saw a ghost, but I didn't see anything.
She was just frightened then.
And mad at me, I think. I kidded her about it.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Now, don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
Aren't you?
Well, I'd like to find out what hit me.
Lance. If I need help, may I count on you?
Yeah, sure, I guess so. Look, what's going on here anyway? I mean, what is with this party bit?
This is no party. He's planning something.
Your husband?
I wish I knew what it was.
Must be pretty big if he's going to lay out 50,000.
The money doesn't mean anything. He has a reason for getting us all up here to this dreadful old house.
Well, what for? He doesn't even know us.
Maybe that's exactly why you're here.
Well, what can he get away with?
Oh, he thinks that big money like his can get away with anything. You know, of course, that I'm his fourth wife. The first simply disappeared. The other two died. Lance, I don't want to join them.
You mean he,
Oh, his doctor said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls in their 20s.
Well, what can he do?
My husband is sometimes insane with jealousy. Nothing matters to him then. Please be careful.
Would he hurt you?
He would kill me if he could.
Annabelle, you're missing all the fun. Nora Manning was almost killed by a falling chandelier. The pilot bashed his head in.
Is he badly hurt?
The Saturnine psychiatrist bandaged him up. Don't you want to go and console him, as you do most men, in your fashion?
You're so clever, Frederick.
Yes, I lie awake nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
Hurry up.
Frederick, for the last time, I'm not going to your party.
And for the last time, it's not my party, but yours. And you are going.
I am not.
You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
Would you adore me as much if I were poor? No. All you want to be is a lovely widow. It's almost time to lock up the house. And then your party will really begin. I wonder how it'll end. It's close to midnight, Lance.
Okay. I'll be down in a minute.
Who is it?
Your host, my dear. It's almost midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
All right, Mr. Lloyd. I'll be right down.
Come with us. Come with us before he kills you. Where's Nora? Miss Manning.
Don't want to stay here.
Nora, what happened? That's Jonas Slides and his wife. They've been caretakers here for years. She's blind, you know.
I'm not going to stay here.
Well, Doctor, it looks like we have a real case of hysteria on our hands.
I think she's just a little upset, not hysterical.
Good evening.
Hello, my dear. This is my wife. These are our guests. Ruth Bridges, Dr. Trent. You know Watson Pritchard, of course. Nora Manning, and this is Lance Schroeder.
Get me out of here.
Now, what about the 10,000?
I don't care. He wants to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
Mr. Lawrence.
May I have your attention, please? I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night. $10,000 apiece. If any of you don't survive, $50,000 will be divided amongst the rest of you. If I should die, you will be paid by my estate. When the door is locked from the outside by the caretakers, we'll all be forced to stay in this house until morning. If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now. You won't have a chance to change your minds later, because there'll be no way to get out.
I don't want to stay.
Wait. It isn't midnight yet. Who told them they could leave?
They never leave before midnight.
Well, they've gone now. I was going to ask you whether you wanted to stay or not, but it seems that the caretakers have made the decision for you. We're all locked in now.
But I don't want to stay.
And I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late now.
Darling, haven't you had enough of the silly game? Get some cars up here for these people and let them go home. But pay them first.
This is your party, remember? In spite of my wife's faith in my ability to do the impossible, we will all have to stay in this house until 8 o'clock in the morning. But we have some party favors for you in these little coffins. This is my wife's idea. And I must say, I think it's rather dangerous. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, you just press down on this lever with your thumb and then pull the trigger. You see, they're loaded.
These are no good against the dead, only the living.
Doctor? Vance? Nora?
Go ahead, take it.
Miss Bridges? And here's yours, dear.
I don't need it.
It was your idea. Who knows, you may want to use it on me before this night is over.
Throw these guns away. They won't do you any good.
I agree with Pritchard on that point, although not for the same reason.
Dr. Trent, don't you approve of our little party favors?
Suppose Nora had had a gun when she mistook the blind woman for a ghost.
I don't think anyone else is going to walk around in total darkness.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to go running around the house shooting each other, aren't you?
Who knows? Fear makes people do amazing things.
Mr. Pritchard, you said your sister-in-law killed a man and a woman here and cut them up? You said they found hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you like to see one of those heads? Would you all like to see one of those heads? Well, then, just follow me.
Darling, I really don't need this.
modern screen. The name written in blood. Ika!
If I could just call you on the phone. The code of the ghost at the sign of the toad. Nobody lives on the Brownsville Road.
Thrill to the newest recording star, Archibald Jr.
Oh, they scream in this way.
See ravishing Marilyn Manning in a thrilling, chilling story. The last of the prehistoric giants sees his first girl.
Noah.
Curious newsmen search deep in giant country for the last of the ancient cavemen. See a tough giant tamed by the soft hands of his captive woman. See him sacrifice his ageless beard for her love. Then lose her to a boy in a dune buggy, escaping a burning desert. Iga's primitive passion was love or kill. Hear Iga talk, the ancient language of love, used at the beginning of time. See Iga!
Flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets. The whole world is under attack. Can it survive?
We are the survivors of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe. What do you want with me? Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us in the city of Washington.
They set up an electronic screen. The artillery doesn't penetrate.
Never before has the screen reached such heights of excitement. Breathtaking spectacle. Hair-raising terror. See the saucermen's high-frequency disintegrators. See flying saucers travel thousands of miles in seconds. See great cities leveled by flying saucer monsters.
Russ, look.
The same kind of thing that's watched us since the beginning of the project.
People of Earth, attention. People of Earth, attention. This is a voice speaking to you from thousands of miles beyond your planet.
They're coming down to take over. They made that clear to us in the saucer. To the best of our knowledge, my wife and I are the only ones left alive.
At my court-ordered community service, there are no children in the building. I'm out of my element here, guys! Thankfully. I mean, if you know this, all the really scary stuff is, you know, outdoors. You got the pumas, you got the little sticks and the certain types of moss. So we're gonna go in here and be scared. outdoors guy here with Julie from J&F House of Horror. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So how long have you been in the operation?
This will be our second year to do our haunted house.
So how'd you hook up with Slaughterhouse?
Slaughterhouse came in my office one day and wanted to see if they could join forces with us. And they're a big name in the haunted house scene, so we decided to jump on board. So this is J&F's warehouse, and they decided to come and bring their talent to us.
Have you ever considered doing an outdoors haunted house?
We have. Next year, we are looking for a big piece of land, and we're going to have a big warehouse with more land on it. So next year will be just J&F House of Terror, so you definitely have to check us out next year, too.
Absolutely. You know I love a big piece of land. Now, who's the F in J&F?
That would be Frank.
And who's Frank?
That would be the security guard outside.
Security guard. Always got to be nice and secure. They say this is a slaughterhouse, but I don't really eat meat. Oh man, this is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Oh oh my, oh man. I think the scary part's over now. Oh, it's not over. It's not over. So, do you come here often? Mr. Frankenstein, we really need a response. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Frankenstein monster. No comment. Oh. Guys, here we got some bats. Here, they only eat humans, so we're... Oh, wait. A snake. Snakes are the most gentle creatures of the animal kingdom. Spiders aren't animals. I repeat, spiders are not animals, so they don't count. You can kill as many spiders as you want. Doesn't care. Not even a moon or a star to light the way. Ah! Oh man. That doesn't bode well. Oh, oh no! We'll just keep moving along. I like carrots. Do you like carrots? He doesn't. He doesn't like carrots at all. Oh, shit. We have a clown. I'm going to see if I can get a quick interview with him. Oh, he's all over the place. Oh, man. I'm pretty tall myself. I'm about 6'4", so that must make you like 6'7", something like that. Your philosophy?
J&F House of Terror, we started 2 years, this will be our second year running, and we are an old school haunt. So we took back the old school haunts, the scary feelings, the going around every corner trying to scare you. So we have just set it out. We have the clowns, we have chainsaws, we have a whole 9 yards.
I noticed there's a lot of terror around every corner. How are you able to squeeze so much fear into one tiny house?
Just because we love haunted houses, we wanted to take the best of all the worlds and bring it here for you in the back. So we love it. Our actors love it. So you got a lot of people loving it, and they're all doing such a great job back there.
Would you say you love to be scared?
Yes, definitely. I love to be scared. It still scares me when I go back in some of our scenes. So I'm always looking, especially when the lights are all out and nobody's here, all the scary props really scares me. You'll see me jet out the warehouse.
You heard it here, folks. Everyone loves to be scared. It's cold. It's very cold. I brought a light jacket, so I'm okay. Now, do you have any comments on factory farms, sir? we get a shot of the foliage. We have the baby again. Sir, are you a friendly baby? He's not. We have a humble scarecrow. Sir, do you know much about Alfalfa? Not the little rascal. Sir, my name's Outdoors Guy. I really like the outdoors. Do you have a name?
I'm gonna go with Farty. What's up, outdoor man?
This is Farty. This is Farty the clown. It's actually Outdoors Guy, but you know.
My apologies, Outdoors Guy.
So, you run one of the longest operating haunts, is it, in the Dallas area?
Yes, in Dallas County, Slaughterhouse. It's our 16th year.
16 years. 16 years of scaring people. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you sell the meat at a discounted rate?
Yes, we do. In fact, our specialty is clown meats.
They like the clown meats. Now, I'm personally a vegetarian. Is that a little gamey or?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But it the thing is, it makes you laugh.
It makes us laugh. We all need a little laughter in this. Would you say it's a scary world?
I'd say it's an awful world. But you know what, though? As long as we can make people laugh and cry and scream all at the same time, and have a tasty diet, we've done our job.
I think I did all of those things today in the slaughterhouse. What would you say is the key to having a successful haunt?
I'd say making sure that the crowd is enjoying themselves. Try to keep the lines moving as much as we can and scare them. Let's come back for the next year.
I was definitely scared.
Awesome.
All right, that's all we have for Farty the Clown. Come to Slaughterhouse sometime. It's a real treat. I'm Outdoors Guy, and this has been my court-appointed community service. Thank you. Come to Slaughterhouse and get your premium hammy shirts. Patent pending.
The ghosts are moving tonight. Restless and hungry.
Does that count as copyright infringement?
Kelsey, where'd you get another knife?
Kelsey?
Kelsey.
Hammy.
Watson.
No, not today, you're not.
Okay. Cole, you seem tense.
What made you say that? Okay, look, I gotta pee, okay? And got high blood pressure. I'm locked in a room with Watson Prick over here.
Watson Pritchard.
Okay. I see the frustration. I understand it, but we do have a show to do. So let's get going. Okay.
I cannot do this today.
I'm surprised no one said anything about the ghost throwing papers yet.
Once, there were 7 film students. They all worked on a project in this very studio. A horror film, like Clue, but filled to the brim with plot holes and a paranoid drunk guy.
Should I ask about copyright infringement again?
They broke the equipment. And after that, no one was ever allowed to rent anything from the equipment room ever again.
But we can still rent things from the...
Ever again. To this day, those students still haunt this very studio, ruining the production of any student that walks into this very room.
Can you cite your sources on that?
Cited.
No. Cited.
Cited.
No. C-I-T-E-D.
I know how to spell.
Whoa, Cole, stop it. Stop it. What are you doing?
I can't take it anymore. I gotta pee. Why aren't you hollow? Why don't they have any bottles anywhere?
Well, I'm not hollow. You can't pee in me. What's come over you? Help me, Kelsey, anyone.
What have you done to me? I'm supposed to be cool. I'm supposed to be calm. I'm supposed to be collected. They know that. What did you turn me into?
Oh. Oh, no.
They've marked you.
Cole, you've done enough. Please, don't do this to me. Please put me back on the table.
I'm sorry, Hammy. I can't do that. Cassie, put the knife away.
I kind of wish they'd killed me off now.
Cole, I think you wet yourself, hun.
Oh, no. I've been reassured by Kelsey that I've just been marked.
Yeah, well, you need a costume change.
Okay.
Now, Cole. Without Hammy. Yeah. Thank you.
The door's still locked. Oh, sorry about that, all you ghouls and goblins. Oh, never mind.
Ah. Kelsey was serious about those film students, huh?
They're coming for me now, and they'll come for you.
Just go look in my suitcase. Just go look. But it was in there. A woman's head.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Get out! Get out, all of you! All of you, get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
You think it's all right to leave her by herself, Doctor?
I wish she'd taken the sedative.
Well, what do you suppose she thought she saw?
They're closing in on her.
Look, Doc, I think somebody ought to stay with her.
There could be 1 million people around her. If they wanted her, they'd get her.
What if he's right?
He's too drunk to know what he's talking about.
I wonder. I'll join you in a minute.
Do you think it would do any good if you went in and talked to her?
Well, do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
I don't know.
A thing like that would put me right over the edge.
Look, would you sort of stay up here, I mean, in case she needs help?
All right. I'll be in my room. Just call if you want.
Thanks.
Are you sure there are only 7 people in this house?
Positive, except for the ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, nor in frightening women. In Nora's case, it's gone far enough. Perhaps too far.
What do you suggest we do about it, Doctor?
Don't frighten her anymore.
Nora? Nora? What do you know about this?
They've taken her. In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Where's Nora? Where is she?
It's too late. It's too late. You'll never find her again.
Pritchard, if you know where she is, you better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with him. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Lay her down. Nora?
She's dead, Mr. Lauren. Your wife hanged herself.
Suicide.
Please hide me. Please hide me.
What's the matter?
Hide me. He tried to kill me. He grabbed me and choked me and put me in that room. And then he went away and left me.
Who?
He thought I was dead.
Who?
Mr. Lord.
Are you sure about this?
I don't know. It was dark, but it must have been him.
Has anybody seen you since he left you?
I heard some people in that room, but I went by and nobody saw me.
Mrs. Lauren is dead.
But how?
Lauren said she committed suicide, but I think somebody killed her.
Him?
I'm sure you've come to the same conclusion I have.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, let's all have a meeting, discuss what to do. The living room?
Okay, in a minute. I've got to go downstairs. Now, you lock yourself in here and don't let anybody know you're here. If he thinks you're dead, he won't come here. And I'll get back as soon as I can. You'll be all right. And if you have to, you use it.
So beautiful. So greedy. So cold. What are you doing in here?
Wait. Don't wait.
What do you mean coming in here?
I didn't want them to take her away.
You're drunk.
They will if you don't watch her.
You're drunk. All right, out with it, Bridget. Why did you come into this room?
I'm the only one who understands.
Understands what?
Your wife isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Bridget, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you sot, and don't come back into this room again.
Where's what's-her-name? Nora.
I didn't disturb her since I don't think this concerns her.
No, you're right.
Mr. Loren, isn't there some way we can get out of this house now?
No, none at all.
We could try breaking out.
The only door to the outside is made of steel. The bars of the windows are set in solid stone. We gotta stay.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget. But I am afraid. When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else. The death of Mrs. Loren. So far tonight, one of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was mysteriously slugged. One of us has been driven to the brink of absolute hysteria, and one of us is dead. Were these accidents? Suicide? And we must stay here for 6 more hours.
6 hours? 6 of us. Time enough.
Who will be next? How will it happen?
Let me ask you a question, Doctor. You were the first one to see my wife there. Did you also see anything that she could have climbed up on and then jumped?
No.
Did any of you? There was nothing. How then did she get up there so high?
Exactly, Mr. Loren. How? She couldn't have pulled herself up there. She couldn't have dropped from the ceiling. Do you think your wife killed herself?
No. She was murdered by one of you.
Or you, Mr. Loren. To deliberately kill someone, you must have a reason.
We were all strangers to your wife. Only you had a motive for murder.
What husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife? What husband hasn't had 1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected? I'm not such a fool as to hang my wife from a ceiling by a rope.
The fact remains that you, or one of us, murdered Mrs. Loren. And that's a matter for the police.
So how do we get the police?
That's my point. We can't until morning. What began as a silly party given by an eccentric has now involved us all in murder.
For once, Pritchard may be right. If another murder's in the works, let's stop it now.
Another murder?
Why not? Maybe one of us saw too much.
Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? To see some ghosts, have a party? No.
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And is the verdict guilty of murder?
Oh, this isn't getting us anywhere. Somebody killed Mrs. Loren, we know that. One of us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent, okay. Now, what we have to do for the next 6 hours is protect ourselves from each other.
Do you really think?
I don't think anything. I just know that I'm going to my room. And if anybody comes in, I'll shoot him. Or her.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room. And the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
And we all have guns.
And we're all agreed?
Oh, I wish this night were over.
Brooms? Guns? I tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They aren't through with us yet. What's the use of saying goodnight?
Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Nora, it's me, Lance.
You okay? They've all gone to their rooms and locked themselves in.
Lance, I've been thinking. It was so dark down there. Maybe it wasn't Mr. Lorne.
It was him, all right. He tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife.
How can you be so sure?
She tried to warn me, asked me to help her. The doc thinks he's going to try and kill one of us. Now, there must be a way out of this place, and I'm going to find it and get the police before he does.
I'm going with you.
What if he finds out you're alive? No, Nora. You're safer here than any place else. Now, just lock yourself in and keep quiet. If I find a way out, I'll come back and get you.
An admission of guilt, Doctor?
Certainly not. There's either somebody else in this house or one of us has left his room. Did you hear anything?
Organ music?
That, and someone walking.
You got yours? Ready?
You look downstairs, and I'll look up here.
Why not together?
There may be only minutes, seconds left of someone's life. Why waste time? It's almost over, darling. Every detail was perfect.
What's happening?
We've done it. A perfect crime. Beautiful.
Has she killed him?
Not yet, but she will.
Get me out of this hanging harness. What's taking that girl so long? What time is it?
At first, I couldn't get Nora to want to protect herself with a gun. But after you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
It'll be worth all of our planning, darling. Where's Nora now? What's happening?
On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves.
And Frederick?
On his way to the cellar, too.
David, are you sure none of them will suspect us?
Of what? An hysterical girl accidentally shoots somebody? Who would suspect that we planned it that way, that we drove her to it?
What about my suicide?
But just a ghost party gag. We'll claim it was a dummy since I'm the only one who touched you.
And the caretakers?
Well, they had no idea what they were really doing.
What about Nora? She's not stupid, you know.
Darling, believe me, everything we've planned is working perfectly. Nora is sure Frederick murdered you. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me. And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you, when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
It's taking too long. David, you ought to be there.
When you hear the shot, come down to the cellar.
David? David?
At last you've got it all. Everything I have. Even my life. But you're not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, murderess. Come with me. Was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not. It's a pity you didn't know when you started your game of murder that I was playing too.
There must be some way to get in here.
Oh, it's right along here, somewhere.
Lance! I've shot Mr. Loren. He's down in the wine cellar.
Alive?
I don't think so. It's him. He's alive.
You didn't shoot anyone, my dear. I loaded your gun with blanks. I can tell you all now. Trent and my wife were planning to kill me. They failed. Trent tried to throw me in the vat. My wife stumbled and fell. I'm ready for justice to decide if I'm innocent or guilty.
Now they're 9. There'll be more, many more. They're coming for me now. And then they'll come for you.
Seriously.
Whoa. Hammy, what's going on?
Oh, I locked us in the studio and things got out of hand.
Was it really bad?
Oh, believe me, it was.
Oh my god.
You wish was there. You need and I need you to talk about the movie.
Me? But what about Khole?
He's indisposed right now. Hello?
Oh, right. Okay. Welcome, all of you ghouls and goblins.
No, not the beginning. Talk about the ending.
Oh, I don't quite remember the movie.
Ah, that's right. Possession and all.
Oh, what?
Nothing. Just know that there were many twists and turns. In the end, we learned that as long as you're a millionaire, you can pretty much get away with double homicide.
And what about the ghosts?
You tell me.
Hey, cut that out! Thanks for tuning into another spooky episode of Be Scared. Come back next time when we rap passages from the Necromonicon.